Welcome to 6 Minutes. I'm Luella Teese. Today we have 3 very interesting stories that your family might want to listen to. Our topic for tonight is to vaccinate or to not vaccinate. To begin our show, we are going to hear from a parent that did not vaccinate their child and wishes they had. Shannon Peterson, whose unvaccinated daughter died from a vaccine-preventable disease just shy of her 6th birthday, explained that a life-changing event, one involving children, will make any parent regret what she has done. What Ms. Peterson does not tell you in this story is that she chose not to vaccinate her daughter on the advice of her daughter's pediatrician.
About 7 o'clock in the evening, we were reading books, and Abigail said she didn't feel well. Dwayne said, "Shannon, we need to take her to the emergency room. She's very sick."
Invasive pneumococcal disease causes acute illness, like meningitis and pneumonia, but it can also lead to long-term problems, like brain damage and deafness.
We went into the emergency room and they started calling code red.
It's better to...
We'll hear from a that vaccinated her child and now she wishes she had. So, Ms. Peterson, tell us about your son.
Well, my dearest son Spencer died 10 hours after receiving his 4th dose of DPT, HIV, and oral polio vaccine. He was only 20 months old.
Deanna Sawyer here at the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland with Dr. Getwell. Doctor, people are wondering why this outbreak has been going on for so long without an end in sight.
When we investigate an outbreak, speed is essential, but getting the right answer is essential also. Our epidemiologists approach investigations systematically. Let me take you back to the beginning to meet my team. We had to establish the existence of an outbreak. Then we need to identify as accurately as possible the specific nature of the disease. We obtain samples from those infected, review the symptoms, interview patients. What were the exposures before becoming ill? What do they think caused their illness? Do they know anyone else with the disease? Do they have anything in common with others who have the disease? Not an easy job.
What problems have you run into?
Take a look. It is time-consuming. Some of the areas are hard to access. The people are reluctant to talk to us. There is incomplete reporting or lack of data, difficulty in making a connection with the exposure and contraction of the disease. Then they come back to the labs and start the real work.
Well, it seems to be heavily affecting children and the elderly. We identified that they all came in contact with each other casually. It's being transmitted by airborne or direct exposure to respiratory droplets, such as coughing and sneezing.
We have isolated the bacteria and determined its origin. It is a particularly tenacious strain of pneumococcal bacteria. We have never seen anything like this.
Why has the U.S. been less affected than many other countries?
Well, worldwide we have noticed lower severity of the disease in areas with a high rate of pneumococcal vaccinations. Those that have had the vaccination are getting less sick. This particular area of the U.S. has a lower percentage of pneumococcal vaccinated children. So we are hoping the U.S. will be less severely impacted. Other countries, especially third world countries, have a much lower vaccination rate.
Now, can you tell me why is that?
Well, mainly it's because of the cost of vaccines and supplies such as needles, storage of vaccines like refrigeration, and many areas do not have a high opinion of U.S. companies' distrust. In Pakistan, the people that found Osama bin Laden pretended to be checking for immunizations.
Why doesn't our current vaccine work? What are you going to do to obtain this outbreak?
Well, I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Louis Pester.
Thank you.
For the short term, we have developed a new vaccine made with the whole-killed bacteria, which contains antigens that are common to most, if not all, pneumococci, so the people who receive the vaccine will be immune to most of the possible types of pneumococci. It is also cheaper to manufacture. We are the most excited about the breakthrough in a DNA that will bring worldwide relief with less probability of causing additional damage because the person is never presented with the pathogen. The protection that is integrated into the cell's DNA then passed on to the offspring automatically.
To finish tonight's program, we will hear from an unexpected adult.
Hello, I have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. I've had my white blood cells transplanted several months ago from an anonymous donor, And for the next 7 months, I will have a compromised immune system until my white blood cells mature. During this time, I am prone to catching diseases such as measles, chickenpox, and the flu. These diseases usually aren't fatal, but with persons such as myself who have a compromised immune system in newborns, they can cause us serious harm and perhaps death. If 75 to 95% of the population were to get vaccinated, that would protect me from getting these particular diseases. It's called herd immunity. The truth is, we should all get vaccinated, not just for ourselves alone, but for the population at large. It's a societal responsibility for us to get vaccinated in order to protect each other from catching these particular types of diseases.